From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Welcome back again on this Thursday. We are here in Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Myself, Jacob Emery, is in the booth this evening, and also alongside Brandon Bowie. He will be here as well, as we are in another playoff championship race. We're coming down to the end before we crown the champion, but first we've got to get through Indianapolis. Brandon, you were on the track doing some work there, kind of getting a feel for it. What do you think of this track? It's going to be exciting. It's a fast track.
Man, I just want to first say this is one of my favorite tracks. So I definitely had to get I had to ask the team if I can borrow a car, go out there and just do a couple of shakedowns on the car. But yeah, I mean the race, I would presume that the way how it's going to be is that it will start off a little on the edgy side. Just, I know, completely different from Watkins Glen last week. But this race tends to be a little on the loose side at the beginning. Then it'll kind of get normal, and then toward the end of that fuel run, it tends to get a little, depends on your settings, but it can either get a little loose or can get really, really tight. So, as we saw the 55 Meeks and the 88 Fleming hitting the wall there, but that's what these guys have got to try and not do. Cannot hit the wall. I did notice that hitting or getting any damage here is going to be really, really bad because the air is sensitive, the cars are sensitive, and anything that any damage you get, we saw a big wreck there, can be detrimental to them.
Yeah, practice is coming to an end now, and they'll start the qualifying. I put some laps in as well. It is going to be a lot of throttle control. You got to get into the turn and back out, and you got to be smooth. That wall will show up quick, and if you do hit that, like you were saying, will cause a lot of damage. It's also going to be interesting to see these guys try to get into pit road. Not one of the easier ones to do it. So we might see some action on pit road today, as right now we're looking at the round of 12. Barroso, Six, Jua, Lights, Mealy, Marshall, Wright, and Fleming are all right there. On the cutoff line, Larson, Smith, Whitley, and Meeks. So this is the round of 12. Going to be fun to watch these guys battle it out at the end. It's been such great racing the last 3 to 4 races. as a majority of these drivers have been here all season trying to get that championship win. And tonight they will continue to do that. We got 3 stages. Stage 1's at 15, stage 2's at 40, and the finish will be at 80. We're seeing the first car on the track putting in a qualifying time. And let's see what these look like. Brandon, do you think this track will play out as the time goes on? I mean, it's hot right now. Some are saying it's loose. Some say they're tight. What do you think the track's going to look like here in a couple hours?
Well, being that the track started as early as it did, I'm gonna probably assume that the track is going to continue degrees, and it's only about 12:26 p.m. During the middle of the day. So track is going to continue to get hot and hot and hot, and it's going to get more and more slick. So again, it just depends on your settings and depends on how hard you're pushing it. In Indy, you really can't push it on entry into the corner because you're just going to heat up that right front, and then you're going to have to be easy coming out the corner because you're just going to be really, really loose. So it's just, it's going to be interesting to see what these guys were able to figure out with their settings. I was able to race, kind of practice around some of the guys here, and some guys seemed like they were struggling a little bit. So as we are on board with Mark Whitley right there, and he's one of the guys that actually has to win this race. He is 24 points out, I believe. So, I mean, he can possibly, maximize and win both stages, but it's still not going to be enough. He's still going to be 4 points out. So, he's going to need to either win or he's going to need to maximize every single point he can on the track tonight.
Yeah, a few of those drivers, like you were saying, Whitley on that cutoff line needs to get the points to advance. Everybody at home, welcome back. Wheels America Racing Network there. We got already the Fleming crew in here saying what's up. Appreciate you being here. As we're looking at times, Mark Whitley's on the pole, 52.954. Drew and Matt Fleming right behind him. Thomas Meeks up there with the 53.8. Thomas Meeks been down at the bottom. I think he's going to have a breakout race today. We shall see. Nick Biddy, Mike's on the track there, 55.4 with his outlap. See what he can do on his second. And Brandon, this track, as I was turning some laps last night, I'm not too fond with it. It's new to me, but I will tell you what, it's fun. It's challenging, but yet fast. It almost got kind of like a short track vibe to it. But man, it's gonna be really fun to see these guys see what they can do on this track this evening.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look back at the actual NASCAR race winners who have won in Indianapolis, the oval side, not the road side, that list is pretty amazing, and it lists quite a few champions: Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt Sr., just to name a few. I unfortunately can't think of any more right now, but I mean, this track is fun, and like you said, it is definitely a challenge. I mean, you got to be able to pin your left front of the car underneath that white line to get it to rotate properly. And if you miss the corner by anything, either you better lift really a lot, or you better hope you don't smash that wall. Because again, if you touch the wall at all, your car's gonna be pretty slow on the straightaways, and you're gonna lose your chance of getting a good finish here.
Yeah, anything can happen as the pits as well. When that stage 2 comes to play, I think the pits are going to change this whole race. Even entering and exiting the pit, it's completely different than any track we've seen all season. It's strange that out of the pits, the lane is so long, it almost feels like it's unnatural. So guys may struggle coming out of the pits and even getting in, and that always is interesting to see in stage 2. But right now, Mark Whitley's still up there in the 1 spot in that number 7. Nick Lights jumped up to 4th with a 53.1. Josh Larson, Drew Jewett, they're in the 3 and 2 spot. As we're looking at number 4, got loose. Man, not a good second lap, but he's still up there in that 4th position.
Yeah, again, it's a challenge as we're now riding on the board with the number 34, Brandon Fetterplace, as he is getting a little loose there, as you just said, and also pounds the wall. I mean, it's a fine line of being able to get into the corner with this car, and you feel like and grip and grip, and the next thing you know, there's no more grip, and then you're sliding toward the wall, and it's it's game over. So, you got to be able to, like I said, be mindful of you know put putting your wheels on that left side of that white line, and like I said, if you can keep it down there, then you can pretty much protect the car. But if you miss it, it's hit or miss whether you're gonna hit that wall or not.
Yeah, you can hit the wall during the race and be okay if you don't hit it too hard. But in qualifying, if you touch the wall, that lap will not count, and your qualifying time will get deleted. So right now is not the time to be hitting the wall. You want to be as pure as you can and get as fast as lap as you can as well. No one is still touching Mark up there up top. Joseph Mealy, he's in that 39. He's looking at 6th. Right now on the track is the 39, Joseph Mealy. So he's going to stay there at 6 as he's going to come to a stop. Calls it quits. EJ Marshall now, as we're looking on, he's on his out lap. See what kind of time he can put up. Actually, this is his first. He just put in, let's see where he's at, 54 points. Not going to do it quite yet. He's hitting 14th. Jonathan Wright just jumped up there to 10th spot. A lot of moving around early on this qualifying, so that's fun to see. I think, Brandon, a couple laps, I would say close to 10, you want to say? That car really works itself in, and you'll get a feel for where this is going to be going?
Yeah, that's about right. Maybe a little bit less than that, maybe around 7 or 8, and you pretty much have a good idea. But and one of the things that I wanted to see actually is how far can these guys go on fuel. As we just saw or see here, Brandon 6 still going. Looks like on the second lap, is currently sitting P3. But one of the things that we're gonna have to keep an eye on is how far can these guys go on fuel. I tried to go as long as I could, and I could go to about lap 17, and then I ran out pretty much coming out of turn 4, coming to lap 18. So, are these guys going to stretch it? Indy is known for long green flag runs. So, as you saw one car getting down there below the white line, that's what I suggested, but that's a little too far. Not in the grass, though. But as we come back and riding with 6 here, we'll see if he improves on his lap. And he moves up to second at the 52.94. So Whitley holding strong as currently the provisional P1 position, as we are now riding with
who's on the track
Frankie.
now.
Yeah,
good old Frankie. And you got some news maybe right now if you want to be talking about Frankie, Brandon.
I don't know what news you're talking about.
Did we not have some news come out with the Bowie Esports?
Nope, don't think so.
Okay, never mind. Cross that out. I don't know what I'm talking about. Moving on. But Frankie is on the track right now, making a qualifying time. As let's see where his first lap puts him. He's there at 8. Well, Frankie's still there. Going to put in his second lap, see if he can get up the top 10, maybe P1 to knock off Mark Whitley.
Hey, looks like he got don't hit the wall. That was really close. I don't know if he trusts her or not, but if he did, that is going to be unfortunate. But I don't think he did. Let's see what he gets here. P5, not bad. Pretty solid lap. And yes, I was actually joking. Yes, we do have a little bit of news that Bowie Esports has decided to work with Frankie moving forward. So we will be bringing Frankie Barroso into the fold, and for next season, we're going to be working with him, and we'll see what he can do. See if he can challenge the best of the best to see if he can get a championship in the Cup Series. So a lot of big things happening, so it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Cat is out of the bag. But right now, qualifying is over, and we've got our grid right now as we're looking at Mark Whitley in P1 right next to Brandon 6. He's in the second spot. We got Drew Drua and Josh Larson in 3 and 4. Frankie Barroso, he got up to 5th, right next to Nick Lights in the 6th position. Jonathan Wright, Brandon Fetter place in the 7-8. EJ Marshall, Joseph Mealy in the 9-10. Robert Hassong, Matthew Fleming, 11-12. And we've got, carry on, hold on 1 second. We've got Mike Corriveau, and Matt Smith, 13 and 14th. Michael Lamphere, Thomas Meeks, 15 and 16th. Nick Biddy, Anthony Williams, and that will be the field as we are going to go green here shortly in Indy. I am excited to see this race. It's a challenging one, Brandon, like you were talking about, but man, the last 3 to 4 races have been fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of green flag runs. Watkins Glen was last week, and man, that was a crazy battle between Brandon Six and Frankie Barroso. Barroso coming out on top, with Brandon Six having to save a little bit of fuel there, and unfortunately gave Frankie the win. So that was exciting. And then before that, I believe it was Bristol. I believe it was. I can't remember. We've ran so many tracks now, but yeah, Bristol and yeah, Darlington. All great tracks so far. Man, I can't wait to see what we can do here.
Yeah, man, this is a great field. So many good drivers out here. So many good competitors. Mark Whitley, Brandon Six, Drew Drua, Josh Larson, and Frankie Barroso. That top 5, man, couldn't ask for better up front driving right there. Indy's gonna be very strange though. Like AJ was talking about earlier, Brandon, you were kind of talking about it. If they start to fan out and they go single file, it's gonna be very, very crazy to see how it unfolds when they're out there racing.
Yeah, for sure. And it's actually crazy. If you look really quickly, if you look at the actual leaderboard, you'll notice that the top 10 minus Brandon Fetter place, technically is in the playoffs. So the strongest have risen to the top. And it's going to be interesting to see, how nice these guys play around each other. This is a cutoff race. So like we said, looking at the standings the playoff standings right now, Larson is out. Tied with his teammate Fleming. So that's gonna be interesting to see them flip flop back and forth. But Smith, he's definitely did not have the best qualifying, but he's gonna try and point his way in for the most part, or try to get a win. But probably Whitley and Meeks probably are must-win situations. Like I said earlier, Whitley could, if he can win both stages, it's a possibility that he can point his way in. That's going to be definitely a challenge with the competition tonight. But hey, you never know what can happen. You can have the big one, take out half the field, and boom, next thing you know, the bottom 4 are in, and the bottom 4, the guys who are currently in, are out. So you just never know.
Right on. Well, it's the Units 200. Stage 1 is at 15 laps. Stage 2 is at 40 laps, and we will finish at 80. One green, white, checkered. Just want to thank everyone at home, Wheels America Racing Network, and all of our sponsors, Units Moving Portable Storage, Wheels America, Admin Box, Flim Dogs, The Nerd Doing Nerd Things, and Harpoon Designs, as we have a green flag here at Indy. Mark Whitley is going to take it away.
Guys, going to turn 1, for the most part, patient. See a little bit of smoke there, but trying to get their bearings together, get an understanding of what the car is doing. But so far, so good.
So far, so good. Got to be patient. They have been doing that the last couple races. It's been great to watch. They're doing it now. Mark Whitley still out front, I believe. Brandon Six, Drew Drua, Josh Larson. Frankie drops a spot to 6th. Nothing new out of Frankie. He takes his time, is very patient, and it has paid off for him at the end of the season.
It looks like there was a little bit of blocking. Oh, the 16 gets loose in the front stretch, and we are under caution. Oh, somebody hit the tire barriers. I don't know who that was. The 77 maybe?
Yeah, that is probably one of the biggest hits that you can make on this racetrack, and it happened. See what happened here. Got loose. 77 got involved.
Who hit the tire? Oh my goodness.
Not sure on the car number, but Charlie Birch. That may be the end of his day here in Indy. Hello.
Oh.
Watch out.
Goodness.
I don't think we've had a bigger hit all season than that one here at Indy on lap 1. Charlie is done for the day.
Man, that reminds me of the Kurt Busch wreck here a couple of years back. When he just got, oh my goodness, that hit again is, that is a hard hit. But that wreck right there, even though Kurt Busch did not hit the tire barriers right there, it reminds me of just how massive that hit was. Man, that's lap 1, turn 1, or turn 4, and we're already under caution. That is, you know, we're not used to that. We've been good racing for the past couple of races here, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But hey,
not the same. Not the same.
Yeah.
But the caution is out. 2 laps down now as we've got some cars going into the pits. Charlie, unfortunately, probably not going to be out on the racetrack for us now, but we've got a long race to go.
And those guys pitting is actually really, really important. Even though we only ran 1 lap, to get around here uses quite a bit of fuel. So those guys are going to come down. More than likely, if they have some damage, they're going to, of course, fix that. And they're going to come down, and they're going to top off on fuel. And the reason why that's important is the beginning. I stated that you could probably go 17, 18 if you really saved quite a bit of fuel. And if those guys can get an extra little bit more and the cautions fall their way, man, they could be sitting in the catbird seat. So, you know, got to take advantage of, you know, if you're in the back, take advantage. Go ahead and pit, top it off on fuel. And, you know, try to get back at it.
Yeah, as we're looking here, the choose car's out already. Didn't see much of that last race, but Steve Tucker's out there in the choose car.
Yeah, I think he was getting kind of bored. You know, he hadn't been out there.
Well, I was gone last week, and I heard that Steve was actually in the race. Was he? Am I wrong?
Steve, yes, he was in the race. And actually, if I remember correctly, I think he finished top 10. So I think he had a solid finish. You know, for our race admin / league owner, you know, out there having a little fun with the boys. So you know, he had fun, and I didn't hear him yell or wreck anybody. So all good, I guess.
All good. I mean, he was itching, I'm sure. I'm sure he wanted to get out there and race with the boys, and he did, and probably had a lot of fun doing it. 4 laps here. First caution at Indy. Mark Whitley, Brandon Six, Drew Drua, Josh Larson, Frankie in the top 5. Got Lights, Mealy, Fetter Place, Wright, Fleming. That's your top 10. 1 car out already with a huge wreck. Unfortunate to see that, but man, we're going to go green here again. Thank you, Harpoon Design, as a sponsor here for the Cup Series. Wheels America Racing. We're going to take another look here. Birch gets behind the pack, trying to avoid it, doesn't really see it, and bang.
Yeah, and it's crazy because if you actually, I didn't see who was right in front of him, but it just at the last minute he ducked left and actually went down pit road. Actually, being told it was Anthony Williams in the 5, so good call by him. You know, with the way our pit road is, you get a little bit more length, so he had enough time to actually brake and probably not speed down pit road. You know, he's already in the back, so he's not gonna really lose anything. So, but man, that's a great way to save your race. So it's not over for him, but unfortunately, it is over for Charlie Birch.
Yeah, and man, the drivers that are going in the pit, if you're going too fast and you do a drive-by, sometimes you will be black flagged, and you can only do that under green. I don't think that's the case here, but was a good decision to make that happen. As the pace car is off in Indy, we're gonna be green here shortly again. Mark Whitley, Brandon Six are up front in the 1-2 spot. We are underway. Going into turn 1. Brandon's Six now up front just a little bit. Can he hold on to it? They are battling.
Another one.
Got Better Place, 34 in the wall. We got another car in the wall, 2 of them.
Oh no, more cars coming.
Oh
Oh
my!
my goodness.
We better just hit the reset button because this start of this race is getting wild. 2 laps, 2 cautions. I think the track temp may be a play here as a lot of these drivers are getting loose, but that looked like just some contact coming in hot. 55 of Meeks is involved. If we keep going, 55 is going to get a big hit right here at the end.
Yeah, so it looks like he possibly entered to the middle, to the high, and maybe had a little bit too much wheel into it, and it just broke loose. And with these tires, you know, they're still cold. Unfortunately, the 16 tagged the 55 again, got even more damage. Looks like we're gonna go on board with the 55 Meeks. Cause see what happened from his view. Right along, and yeah, I don't know if maybe we need to ride with the 34 and maybe look at from that point of view. Cause it honestly looks like he maybe the car in front of him maybe checked up a little bit and he tagged and stomped on the brakes. Okay, yep, that's it. Okay, so he tagged the 4 and the way how the tag unfortunately worked, it shot him down to the bottom, got him loose, he touched the grass, and it's gonna knock him out. 55 getting hit again, man. That's another unfortunate situation, and he's in the playoffs, and I said at the beginning, he has to win. He's 36 points out. I'm not sure, man. I think he technically is the only car a lap down currently. Well, Charlie Birch was 5 down, but you know, should be. I mean, it depends on how much damage he has. You know, if he doesn't have a lot of required, then he can get back out there and ride around until we at least get to the stage. Which we're about halfway to the stage now. You know, so he could probably ride enough so that way he doesn't go another lap down. But again, any type of damage here is all aero dependent, and unfortunately, you can't really afford to have damage here. So, the situation that he's in, it's not going to be easy to get laps back and to try to get back out there and try to get a win.
Yeah, Meeks was right on that cutoff. I don't know if he's going to be able to come back out and get a good finish. Seems like he's got himself into a lot of trouble. Not him doing, but seems like he's just been caught up. Unfortunate for him, as he needed a good finish tonight, at least a top 10, top 5 to advance. But Indy has had 2 cautions now, 7 laps in. We've got a couple drivers now that are gone, and our field is getting smaller. Mark Whitley now up front in front of Brandon 6, and Frankie Barroso jumped up to 3rd. Larson Mealy, Lights, Fleming, Biddy, and Wright. Smith in that 54. That's your top 10. Brandon, it is it's May 4th. You know what that is? Because AJ has been talking about it all day.
Yes, May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. And you know what we should do? AJ loves Star Wars, and he's behind the scenes, doing the camera and all the stuff that needs to have to make this all work. AJ, it's your day. It's Star Wars Day.
Dude, it's my couple days, because you have May the 4th be with you. Tomorrow's Revenge of the 5th. Yeah, I'm really excited. Like, I brought out both my lightsabers today, and I was just making sure they still work, tinkering them with a little bit. But yeah, if you want to go check out a lot of Star Wars fun stuff, I have a Facebook group, the Nerds Do Nerd Things podcast group page. Go check that out. We talk about all things nerdy, and of course, this week altogether, it's been one heck of a show. But yeah, it's been a very great day. I was blasting Star Wars music all day at work, guys.
Well, it is your day, and I'd haven't heard the next day. That's a new one to me. And what's the 6th going to be called? I bet you you'll have another one shortly. But yeah, go check them out. the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, one of our sponsors here for this race. As the pace car is off, we are going to go back green. Ran at 6. Mark Whitley, Larson, Frankie, 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're going into turn 1. Been a tough one so far early on. 2 cautions, cars getting loose, kind of running into each other. Close to the wall coming out of 1.
Yeah,
Let's
Mark
see if
Whitley
they can figure this car out.
Yeah, Mark Whitley was definitely close to tagging that wall, but kept it clean and he's going after it. He's like, he understands those positions he's in. He's got to win. He's got to maximize as many points as possible. So he's doing what he needs to do right now.
Yeah, this stage ends at 15 laps, so not too many to go until we'll do that caution and regroup, reset, and get him back out there. Right now, Mark Whitley's trying to get to the front for Brandon 6. Brandon's been strong all season. Another driver who's been strong all season is Frankie Barroso. We typically see him in the mid-pack or late, and he works his way up here. But here in Indy, I think he's making the right call and pushing as hard as he can up front to try to get to the front. That number 12 Harpoon design, great-looking car. Cheering for Frankie tonight. He had a great race last week, and he's really put himself in position of points and overall at the end of the season to get a championship.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, you got to keep in mind, you're absolutely right when you said he usually kind of he's the type of driver that really takes his time. He tries not to burn up his tires and just kind of see how the race goes. And next thing you know, hey, we've said it plenty of times. Hey, where did he come from? It's almost like Kevin Harvick popped in the car and was just like, all right, time to go.
Absolutely.
But yeah, he is really, really methodical about how his races goes and how he processes his races. So it's it's actually cool and refreshing to have a driver that's, you know, not always thinking, oh, I have to win, I have to win. You know, he's more of just, you know what, I'm gonna take my time, I'm gonna work my way slowly up there, and you know, we're gonna see how things shake out. So it's a pretty good driver right there.
Yeah, Fleming right now in that 88 making a charge. He's in 5th, about 2 seconds behind the leader, but he's looking real good here, trying to catch Lights and Larson past Barroso. Another driver that's been great here late in the season, 88. Don't count him out. Brandon, we've got 2 cars there in the pits. Fetter Place and Birch, don't believe they're coming back out here. They may be done for the day. Only about 7 laps in. We've lost 2 of these drivers on the field.
Yeah, and you know, as I stated, you know, 2 unfortunate situations. You know, man, and it's, again, as early as it is, you know, if this was maybe toward the end of the race and you're pushing hard and you make a mistake, then, you know, at least you at least got to do the race. But, you know, if you know, are wrecking on lap 1 and then wrecking again in lap 4 or 5, I mean, man, it's way too early to be putting yourself in that situation to be wrecked out and not racing. So unfortunate situations. Hopefully the boys learn from that, and you know, they'll try to, as we see, blocking with some of the guys, with Millie and Frankie and who is it, 48 of Drew also was doing a little blocking there. So these guys are racing hard back here in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, love to see that. And as they've figured out this track, I think now is we're getting a couple laps consecutive in place, no cautions, and they're looking good. As I say that, I got a couple cars in the back getting loose, and there's the wreck. And I think that is the biggest broadcast curse of ever, and it always happens that way.
You get yeah, just, oh my goodness.
That could have been a little bit of net code. We can go back. Oh my. But everyone's catching all the walls at the worst spot and destroying the cars. It's
Didn't Brad Keselowski hit that wall and flip over? I want to say.
Yeah, we are hitting all the walls that you shouldn't be touching at full speed, and it's happening here at Indy. A little bit of net code there on the outside. I don't think it was that much contact as it does look on the screen. But that is big, unfortunate situation for the number 8.
And
That car
crap
looks
is
like that's
walking.
done.
Yeah, that's a done deal. And even if you do come out, and they can fix it. It's gonna take them at least 8 minutes, probably. Yeah, that's what we would call, folks. That's what we call crab walking.
That is the biggest crab walking, going pretty fast doing it too. Anyways, well, the song, the number 8, he is done. Fetter Place now is done. Charlie with big contact early in the race, he's out. 14 laps in, and I think this is going to end on caution. For the first stage, your winner is going to be Brandon 6, and that's 66. I think with 6 getting the win there, we have a big mover. I believe we're going to bring him into the booth, have a word with that driver real quick. Matthew Fleming in the 88, making a huge run here in Indy. Looks like Matt Fleming, he started 12th, is now sitting 4th. He has figured it out fast early on. Get up through the field. Matt Fleming will be here with us shortly after they pit.
It'll be interesting. I'm gonna say that they all take 4 tires, and well, I could be wrong. Interesting.
That is very interesting, Brandon. When you said 4 tires, I said that's a no-brainer, but we are wrong. Right, we're gonna bring in Matt real quick. They just came out of pits. Matt Fleming, you got a copy real quick.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Matt, you are making a push early on in that 88. You started 12th, and now you're sitting 4th. That car must be feeling pretty good for you.
Yeah, it was coming in pretty good. Granted, we really didn't have too many green flag racing there, but yeah, the car feels comfortable so far. Looking forward to the rest of the race here.
Right on. We got a couple cars, yeah, out for good. Brandon, you got something from Matt before he gets back to green flag racing?
Yeah, I saw that. Now, unfortunately, I didn't see what you took. Did you take 4 tires, 2 tires, or no tires, sir?
I took 4.
Okay, the rest of your teammates took 2 or none. Different strategies from the whole team, or just kind of got something, just trying different things at this point?
I'm just kind of going something different. I got to try to stay ahead of some of these guys for my playoff run, but yeah, just something to be a little bit different, see how it pans out.
I got you, sir. Well, again, man, you're making a heck of a way through the field up to P4. Good job on that, man. And hey, you could have a good shot at getting the win. You've been fast for the past couple of weeks, man. You just got to put it together.
Oh yeah, that's the plan.
All right, that's Matt Fleming in that 88. Right now, sitting 7th. Up a little bit after the pits. It's Josh Larson, Frankie Barroso, Drew Drua, Joseph Mealy, Brandon 6. Your top 5 after that pit stop. So far, it's been pretty exciting with a lot of action of wrecks. It's some big contacts. I think stage 2 will bring a different vibe. We are going to end at 40 laps. Very unfortunate for some of these drivers, man. One of them, Meeks, trying to battle and get to the playoffs to win the championship, and it looks like his day may be done. But man, Brandon, Indianapolis is a very interesting track so far here early on in 16 laps.
Yeah, a lot more cautious than we're used to. The state, I think maybe we jinxed it a little bit, but I don't know. I think maybe it's a little bit of guys maybe weren't prepared for what to feel. But hey, I think these guys kind of got a little bit a better feel on what to expect. So pace car is off and coming to the start finish.
Green flag will go as the 51 new face up front. Josh Larson is going to take us away. Frankie's right behind him and see if he can get his way up to the front to take the lead for the first time here at Indy. 17 laps now down. We've got to go to 40 for the second stage. Frankie now is out front. Number 48, Josh Larson, Drew Drua right behind.
And keep in mind, the 51 of Josh Larson did not take tires there. He only took fuel. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do and see if he can go up there and maybe hang with Frankie, which, I believe he took tires there. So it'll be interesting to see how he can do with the guys who did take tires compared to himself who didn't take any.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what their tire wear is, as maybe Drew was thinking, hey, a lot of cautions early on. I don't need to take tires. That could be the case. Not 100% sure there, but it may pay off for him as Frankie not looking back in that 12, looking really, really smooth out front. Brandon 6 now sitting back to 5th. Mark Whitley in that 7th now is in 6th. A couple of these guys that moved up quick here. We've got Joseph Mealy. He started 10th, now 8th. Matt Smith, he was in 14th, sitting 9th now. Nick Biddy, 17th and 10th. And up front, Josh Larson, he started 4th and now sitting 3rd. Drew Drua, Frankie Barossa up front. Man.
Yeah, these guys are, the top 4 right now pretty much have a little bit of gap over the 66 and the 7 of Mark Whitley along with Millie. So, and actually, if I remember correctly, I think Millie didn't take tires as well. If he did, he only took 2. As we're seeing the 48 Drew Drua, he's going to try and attempt to go for a dive under the 12. If he can get off the corner, no, looks like the 48 is going to ride. Now, the only problem is with him being so close behind, the 48 of Drua is going to get tight. So he has to be mindful of how close he is to that car in front, because if not, he's going to miss his corner. He's going to probably tag the wall.
Yeah, we saw him kind of miss it there in that first turn behind Barossa. See what he does here. He drops to the inside, looks a little bit smoother. Gets the run on Frankie. Is he going to go for the pass? Nope. Stay right behind. Drew's out here really pushing it early on. This is another driver that we don't see up front until later in the race. But Frankie in that 12 and Drew in the 48 said, you know what, stage 2, it's on.
Yeah, and everybody has an agenda, right? Every driver has a different way of getting the competition to burn up, whether it's burn up their tires or just allow them as he's gonna go for the pass, and gotta be mindful because he can get really tight coming out of the corners. But looks like they're now, the only problem is they're side by side, so they're gonna side draft each other and they're gonna slow each other down so much that
Larson says, I might bring it here. Now, I could have been wrong early on, Brandon. Did Drew take 4 tires, or is he on fresh?
I believe Drew is on 4 tires.
Okay, he's on 4 tires, and maybe it was Larson. Who was the driver that you had said did not take tires, which I thought was a bold move, but I think he's still up here in the top 5.
Larson did not take tires.
Larson did not take 5, so the 51 is on old tires, still up there, hasn't fell off yet. He's in 4th.
And I'm battling. I have to retract that. The 48 of Drew did not take tires.
Okay, so yeah, Larson, Drew, now in 1st in front of Frankie, did not take tires, and they're still driving that car strong enough and not falling off on the pace. But look at this battle with Mark Whitley in the 7 on the inside. We got Joseph Neely back there.
Guys, gotta take your time. Got plenty of time to get back there. Gotta play nice, and everybody should be good. But,
we are 3 wide now, Brandon.
Looks like Millie got loose coming out of that corner, though.
Something you don't see a lot here in Indy, but he's gonna get the pass from the inside. Mark gets by him, getting a few spots.
Some of these guys are getting, well, Mark Whitley is on the move along with the 66. I mean, they know that they have to go, but, it's a matter of, still got to play nice. And now they're going to go 3 wide.
As you say, play nice. They are not, as they are 3 wide on the backstretch.
And, they're going to go 2 wide in the corner.
Working out. 66 says, no way. I need to work my way back up there. Brandon 6, he started 2nd, now sitting 5th. trying to get back to that top 5 as he is sitting in 5th. Interesting strategy. Some of these guys like to break the draft and go low and then come back high. I saw it in practice, and guys are doing it now. Not everybody, only some drivers. I'm not sure if that's a benefit or not, but saw Larson and a few of those other drivers doing it. Brandon, what are your thoughts on that move? Do you think it's a tactic that's going to work out, or what are your thoughts on doing something like that?
I mean, it could work out, but I can tell you what, the longer they run, the more the loose the car gets. We just saw Larson get really, really sideways coming out of turn 4 the lap before. So, I mean, if you took care of your tires, then you're fine. But if you didn't, then it's, as you can see, Brandon Six and Mark Whitley are just literally just battling the heck out of each other right now. Nobody wants to give an inch. And by doing that, they are allowing the 2 cars in front of them to also walk away from them. So somebody's got to figure it out so that way they can get back to the front. Because right now, they're not going to get there.
They're not going to get there. This stage 2 ends at 40 laps. We got quite a ways to go. Drew Drua making a run. He's about a second ahead of Frankie Barroso. Nick Lights right there, 2 seconds, and Matt Fleming about 3 seconds behind the leader. Thank you for everybody at home on Wheels America Racing Network tuning in. I do see your chat. Kenny Reel, one of the drivers, is typically here every night, is not here tonight, though. He did have to miss this race. He's got some family stuff going on. Thoughts and prayers with his family. But Kenny Reel, one of the drivers that's out here every single Thursday battling. So we do miss him here at Indianapolis. 24 laps down. Frankie is now only a second, 0.25 behind Drew Drua. Man, Brandon, it's impressive to see Drew up there, old tires, making it work. This could be a situation where the tires are wearing off, but the car feels a little bit better. And I think we're seeing it right here.
Yep, I would agree. At times, I've been able to do that in my sim racing career. Well, you know what? The car was just way too tight. But as the run went on, the car got loose, and it felt really good. So I just would stay out. Now, here's the one problem with this: is you kind of just show the rest of the field, like, hey, you don't need to take tires. You can actually stay out and actually hold your own. So that's the one problem. You kind of just showed your hand. Now, are they going to do that again? Probably not, because these guys have been green for so long now. But if we get a short run to the end of the race or something similar to that, some of these boys are probably just going to stay out. They're probably not going to pit. And then, for the people who actually have no choice but to pit, they're going to pit. So it's it's a game, whether it's a mental game or whether it's a, physically, with watching the 66 and the 7 battling out, trying to get past each other. But, it's, man, I mean, these guys are out there plucking off laps. At the same time, they're trying to figure out, how can I make my strategy work? And as of right now, I don't think the 66 and the 7 strategy is working out very well.
No, they're falling back. They're battling there. And then one driver right now behind Drew is Frankie. And now he's gained some time. So you might see Drew fall off a little bit. We've got over 10 laps until the end of this stage at 40. I think Frankie might catch him here at the end. So now he's only a little over a second behind the number 48 Drew. As we were just talking about those old tires, that's going to come into play and be a big factor at the end of the stage.
Yeah, and actually, Drew just came out of that corner, out of turn 2, and slid him just a little bit coming out the corner. So, yes, tires make a difference here. Now, if, like I said before, if you're able to protect your tires and didn't, heat them up too much and slide them a lot, then you could probably hold on. But Drew is going to have to do a lot to hold on, as he is slipping and sliding all over the place coming out of turn 4. And Frankie is solid coming out of that corner. So eventually him and Lights are going to work together, and they are going to push their way past Drew.
Yeah, Nick Lights too. He's right there behind Barroso, and he's only a second behind. Both of them may catch him. One driver that may not is Brandon Six. He's fallen back a little bit with Mark Whitley. Mark Whitley now 2 seconds behind. And Matt Fleming, he was making that push in that late stage 1. Now in stage 2, He started 12, looking at 6th position. And Brandon, they are running. They are running away with it right now, trying to catch that number 48.
Oh, and Drew completely missed the corner there. Man, he is he's struggling right now. I can tell. He is trying. Oh no, he's coming down pit road. Interesting strategy here.
Don't see a lot of green flag pit stops on stage 2, but we're seeing it right now with that 48. So now we're looking at number 4, Nick Lights, and Frankie in that 12 up front in that 1-2 spot. Brandon 6. He's in 3rd. And the whole field has changed now. 29 laps down, 11 to go, and we will end this first stage. And getting some word here. A couple guys on the bubble after stage 1. We got Larson, Mealy, Fleming, Wright, Marshall, and Smith. So that will be very very fun to watch here at the end of stage 2, and how this race ends. We are here in the championship playoffs. Every point counts.
Yeah, and it's interesting as we see another car coming down pit road. 7 to Whitley.
Well, Brandon, do you think it's a situation they're splitting the stage in half? What are your thought process coming into green right now, so early on in stage 2?
Just depends on how hard you really pushed it. I mean, like I said, you only can get about 17 laps out of a tank. 18 if you do max save. 18 or 19 if you do max saving. As we saw, those guys weren't holding back at all. So, you know, there's a couple of ways you can kind of think about it. You can come in early, and you can try to, you know, maximize your time on pit road, on and off, and then try to just put down some really fast laps. Now, if you're in traffic like the 66 and Mark Whitley was the 7, you know, they can try and claw their way back up, but they're just losing time and probably getting tighter as they're stuck behind cars. So the best thing to do is kind of similar to how you would do at a road course. If you can get some free space and there's no cars in front of you, just hot lap and just put as fast times as you can, so that way that helps your delta when you come in and out, and hopefully you kind of leapfrog some of those cars. So it just depends on the strategy and what these guys have in mind. But again, with the 66 and the 7, unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to get back to the front unless they were able to make time on Drew and the I think it was Frankie and Lights. But I don't know. We'll have to see where they shake out when they come out of pit road and when it circles back around.
Yeah, and everyone watching at home, the highlighted green, those are the drivers, those are contenders to be the champion at the end of this season, as they are in the playoffs. One driver already, Edward Marshall, he did park it. He is done for the day, and that will eliminate him from the championship series here. So he is done for the season. But Frankie, Lights up there, Larson, Wright, still battling, trying to get the win here at Indy. 32 laps now down, and we only have 8 to go at the end of the stage at 40. As guys are pitting early on, the games have already begun. Guys staying out, guys going in, grabbing tires. This has been very interesting early on in this race, as we typically don't see the green flag pit stops, but Indianapolis is different. As how many cars we got on a lead lap right now that haven't pit?
There's still quite a few people who haven't pitted yet. I think we're coming down to the end of this of this pitting cycle, but I can give you a little insight. Brandon 6 had actually came out in front of Drew Jua during the pit cycle, but it looks like Brandon 6 might not have taken tires there, trying to do what Drew Jua did before, but because of that, he got passed by Drew, who I believe actually took tires. So, yeah, that's just it's interesting, all these strategies, but I tell you what, it's fun to learn who's doing what.
Now we're gonna, after this first or the second stage, it's all gonna come back together. As a broadcaster, it's hard to follow what exactly is gonna happen at the end because now it's just a mix-up. All I know is that Frankie is out front in that 12, and he has been out front this whole stage 2.
Yeah, so just to confirm, Drew Drew did take 4 tires. Brandon Six did not take tires at all. Millie here, actually, I'm sorry, that's Matt Fleming. Also, I do not believe took tires. So, yeah, so it's interesting. But unfortunately, as we talked about Frankie being out front, he is pitting now. So, this is going to be interesting again. We're going to see whether Frankie decides to take tires or does he not and just take fuel. So, basically, you're only going to have about 5 laps, give or take. So, we'll see if Drew makes up the time. Right now, he's still in the backstretch while Frankie's down pit road.
Yeah, and just confirmation, I'm looking right now. The track temp, 127. So, tires are going to matter. 127 track temp is hot as we've seen all season. I think Miami might have been close to it, but 127 is hard to beat. Tires are going to be important late in this race. 35 now, only 5 laps left in this stage 2. Vinny's in here now, number 5 there. Number 12's coming in. Actually, he is exiting. I apologize. He already just went in, took 4. He's getting back on the track. We're on board here, Drew Drew.
Yeah, this is gonna get interesting. Frankie did not take tires.
Frankie did not take tires.
No, sir. And I don't think Mark Whitley took tires either. I will double check for you. Yeah, so that's correct. So Mark Whitley did not take tires. Frankie Barroso did not take tires. The first car right now on fresh tires is Drew Drew.
You know that meme that you see online where the guy is like looking upward and there's just calculations going everywhere? It's kind of what I feel like this race is right now. I don't know how it's gonna play out. There's so many different strategies with so many different teams and cars. This is what it's all about, and this is what makes exciting here at Indianapolis. Only 4 more laps now to the end of this stage. What we haven't done in this stage 2 is picked our driver. I think it's time. Brandon, I'm going to let you go first. Pick your first driver, AJ, and then myself. Who do you got that you think is going to come out here and win?
Man, I have no clue. Man. If I was going to pick somebody, I mean, right now, Mark Whitley is, I guess, sitting in the catbird seat, so I'm going to say Mark Whitley finds a way to pull it off.
All right, Mark Whitley for Brandon. AJ, who do you got?
Well, it's been a driver that's been up front quite a bit, not where he wants to be with just a couple laps in stage 2. But I'm going to go with the 48 of Drew Jua. Really strong throughout this race so far. I think once we hit that 3rd stage, he's really going to put a fire under his butt and get towards the front as he almost just smacked the wall coming out of turn 2.
Right, AJ is going to get the 48 of Jua. I am going to pick the 88 of Fleming. I like to call it the fan favorite, Matt Fleming in that 88. That's going to be my pick. He's been strong. He started in 12th, sitting 4th now. He's 5 seconds behind the leader, but man, anything can happen at the end of this stage going in the final. Because everyone's playing different strategies. I think Matt is on fresh tires. I could be wrong. I'll try to get confirmation on that. So he's looking strong. Mark Whitley, Barroso, Drew, Matt Fleming, Brandon Six, Nick Lights, Larson, Smith, Lanfear, and Biddy at top 10. Good racing early on. We had some cautions, but now in this stage 2, they've figured it out. Good racing, good strategies. Mark Whitley there, and that's 7. Very good truck driver, and he is in the Cup car tonight, or today. Strong as ever. Got to look out for him.
Yeah, these guys are really pushing it right now. especially the 7 and the 12 of Barroso. You know, they're just doing their best, and right now, Barroso is just trying to figure out how can I get back by the 7. But uh, that but that 7 is fast. He's about a tenth faster than Frankie right now. So I think it's going to be one of those things. Unless Mark Whitley tags the wall, or gets loose, or really tight and has to lift, I think it's going to be hard to get back by him.
Yeah, he is on his own island up there. Frankie's trying to battle to get to him as well. Those are the only two out front. Drua and Fleming about 5 to 3 seconds behind. Mark Whitley's going to take this stage 2. He can keep it together here. Going to build some confidence going into the late of this race. 80 laps total. Sponsors: Units Moving Portable Storage, Wheels America, Admin Bots, Flim Dogs, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, and Harpoon Designs. That is going to end stage 2. So everyone's going to regroup, get some tires, top off on fuel, or maybe stay out if they want position. But man, stage 2 was awesome.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Different strategies, different, people swapping positions. Man, that's what makes racing fun. And as a broadcaster, that's exactly what makes it fun to watch as well.
Yeah, and Mark Whitley in that 7, he has to win. He does not have a choice. He has to get a win to advance, to stay alive, to try to get a championship. So, he's going to be driving that car as hard as he can to do that. They are going to go in and pit, and we will get a word with him. Our stage 2 winner, Mark Whitley.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out where the pace car is.
They got to find it. They're going to chasing it down.
Hey, it looks like they are just running forever. There it goes.
Well, now the pace car is out, and Mark Whitley's going to stay behind him as more lap maybe and get in the pits.
Yeah, well, what's crazy is luckily these boys, well, it depends. How close were they on fuel? If you didn't calculate the fact that you had to basically do another lap to catch the pace car, man, some of these guys could be on fumes right now.
That would be a bad break if that is the case. But a lot of drivers you saw come in, not take tires, just topped it off and went back out. But Wright, Meeks, Mealy, Marshall, he's out actually, Williams and Biddy, they all have decisions to make. But for right now, we are going to take a quick break and go to commercial, and we will be back to talk with Mark Whitley in just a moment.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join Nerds Doing Nerd Things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
And welcome back as we're continuing here at Indy, just finishing up our in the second stage caution. We're going to see if we can bring Mr. Mark Whitley in the booth. Mark Whitley, you got a copy?
Gotcha.
Hey, man, congratulations on your stage 2 win there. Interesting strategy with you not taking tires, just only doing fuel. We saw that at the end of the first stage. How did it feel with the on the long run and then no tires? Did that seem like it worked out better, or do you feel like you're gonna definitely need tires toward the end?
It felt all right. It was definitely tighter. So I think the I forget who it was, Drew. I think he'd have passed us if he didn't kill the wall. So I think we were going to be about second, maybe third, depending on how it worked out if he didn't hit the wall. So I think I'm just trying to get as much points as I can, try to stay as close to the front as I can, and try to pull any kind of rabbits out of any hats I got.
I hear you. I mean, you came in here as I think you were at the bottom. I think you were 24 points out, and with you winning that stage, it gave you 10, and then it, with your, I can't remember where you finished the first stage. So you are close. You're close, sir. So you're my pick to win. No, no pressure, but go out there, have fun, man, and we'll see where you shake out.
Let's just go ahead and get a win. I ain't got to worry about points then. Sounds good to me.
I hear you, man. Good luck, man.
Yeah, Mark
All
Whitley, Brandon. Just real quick, Mark Whitley is a must-win. He's got to get a win here to advance. So.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what he was just saying. If he can get the win, you don't have to worry about the points. But
yep.
He's got a lot of talented people around him, so we have to see where it shakes out. Pace car's off.
Well, all the strategy is done for the most part of stage 2, because this final stage has started and we end at 80 laps. Frankie, Lights, Fleming, and Whitley sneaks up there in the 66. All up front, trying to get past Barroso and Mark in that 7.
So far, so good. Nice clean restart there from the boys. Even saw Meeks in the background. He's damaged pretty good, but he's still out there. He's gonna try and pick up as many points as he can, because you just never know how this race can end. So, hey, you never give up. Whether you're damaged, you still gotta go out there and still do your best. Cause like I said, you never know what can happen. And if they have a big wreck, hey, you can still point your way in. So, would be crazy. Would be difficult to do, but you never know.
Yeah, great racing from all these drivers late in this race. Took a little bit, couple cautions early on. It happens. We haven't seen it too much here in the last 4 races, but took a little bit of time for these guys to figure this track out, as it should. Something new, man. Indianapolis is a crazy little track, a lot of speed. Nick Lights, Frankie, and Mark Whitley, though, they figured it out as they're up front. Man, Nick Lights is fast for about half a second as Mark Whitley's trying to chase him. Frankie's dropping down to almost a second.
Yeah, and again, we know how Frankie's strategy is. His strategy is, hey, let me take care of the tires for a little bit, let me not burn them up, and then when it's time to go. So, so it's not surprising to see him kind of falling back a little bit, kind of allowing some of the other drivers to go up there and burn up their stuff. Frankie has a plan. He always has a plan. His plan might not always work, but he's got a plan for sure.
He is consistent, I will say that, and it has helped him out. He is up there on the leaderboards and battling for a championship. So
don't know what that
change
was.
anything.
It got really loose there. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. You're good. Number 88 on the inside, gonna make a pass. And as we're seeing it now, Frankie's dropping back, being patient like we haven't seen early on in the stages.
Yeah, but he can't drop back too far. He's still got to be mindful of how far he's dropping back, because you're losing time, and these guys you still have to make a green flag pit stop, so got to keep that in mind.
And as they're going to pass, we are actually going to take a second and bring the noise. And one of the greatest moments of the broadcast is when we bring the noise. Fantastic to see that every week. Gives you a good perspective of what these drivers are doing. Just to hear the sounds on the track. Each of these drivers are trying to make their way to the front. Been nothing but excellent racing late in this race here at Indianapolis. As all the strategies coming into play now, 50 laps down. We've got to go to 80. Not too much time left. Now we will see a green flag pit stop here on this late stage. As we saw it in stage 2, some guys took tires, some guys took fuel. Not sure what is going to happen, because every time we try to pick and determine the outcome, that gets mixed up, Brandon. It happens every single race.
Yeah, it does. It does. And it's just a matter of these guys are all on different strategies right now. You know, lights is, as we always say, as I always say, lights is lights out. He's not saving anything. He's going for it. And the way it shakes out, it shakes out. As far as Mark Whitley and Brandon Six, it seems as though they could be saving a little bit along with Fleming. But I think we all know who is saving the most they can, and that is Mr. Frank Barroso. As we saw a little bit, he might have been clutching. But, again, hard to tell. You know, even if clutching, because sometimes clutching doesn't give you enough. So, these guys, you know, we know for a fact these guys all have to pit again. Now, as far as how much will they have to make it to the end, especially with a green-white checkered, that is the part that we have no clue on.
Yeah, and like you were saying, saving it may pay off for these drivers at the very end, as the guys up front may be on a different strategy. So you're right. A lot of drivers are saving, but they still got to pit. They still got to make some moves. One thing I want to ask you, so I saw on board, these drivers are in 5th. Are any of these drivers shifting down to 4th when they go into turn 1 or 2?
I mean, they could be. But I'm gonna tell you what, if you're doing that, you're burning fuel. So you don't want to do that. Now I actually did do that when I was practicing with the boys earlier, just trying it out, and it did seem like it would work when you got a little tight. But like I said, you know, by doing that, by downshifting, you're having the RPMs go up higher. You're gonna burn more fuel. You know, I was able to make 17 laps on fuel. I'm pretty sure that the majority of everybody else can as well. If you start shifting, you're gonna probably go down to maybe making about 15 or 16 laps. So, I mean, if that's your strategy, then you know, great. Then you'll probably be really, really fast. But if the strategy is the long game, that is not the way to go.
Well, some of these drivers, the 54, Matt Smith, 32, Nick Biddy, moving up here pretty strong. Matt Smith started 14th, now looking 7th. Nick Biddy, he started 17th, is now in 8th position. So, man, good to see Matt Smith and Nick Biddy up there battling. Number 32 is not in the playoffs, but he's putting on a show tonight, getting that top 10, maybe the top 5 finish. Could pull off the win here at Indianapolis. Up front there, Nick Lights in that 4. He is in front of Brandon 6, Mark Whitley, Matt Fleming, Josh Larson in that 51. He's in 5th, staying pretty consistent. And Frankie now dropping back to 6th. I think he's playing the safe game, but it may pay out for him as it has in the past. The last 2 races, he has done a great job coming from the back and finding a way to finish fantastic in the top 5 at least.
Yeah, for sure. And now you start to see the 66 has actually caught Nick Lights. So either Nick Lights is now saving fuel, or he's burnt up his tires, and the 66 has started to reel him in. Yet again, you know, how hard is 6 and Nick pushing it? You know, how hard is Mark Whitley and Matt Fleming pushing it? Who knows? I mean, we don't have the throttle inputs or anything like that, so it's hard to really know. Only thing we might be able to tell is by looking at the lap times that these guys are putting down. But
Nick Lights just got loose, and Brandon's going to get on the inside.
Yeah, and again, even side drafting each other, it's going to burn a little bit more fuel because you're just slowing each other down. So,
Man,
It's
Brandon, it only takes a couple laps too. If you're on the inside, if you're battling, it only takes a couple laps to really burn off those tires, and you're stuck. As now you
Yeah.
see Nick Lights get on the inside to get single file. It's too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what's crazy is that we're watching these guys battle, but at the same time, they're all trying to save fuel still.
Yeah.
They even Mark, and not Mark. I'm sorry. Even Nick Lights, being that he was out front, he's probably trying to still save something, and he knows, these boys are going to be on him pretty quick. Oh,
Brandon, get loose!
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh
my.
no! This changes everything.
Brandon Six in that 66 battle. Beaver car gets loose, hits the wall in front of the field. And let's see who got involved here. On the inside there, comes out.
Looks like it
Yes.
just did a power slide.
Power
And,
slide right in the wall. We were talking about these contacts, Brandon.
I mean, Nick Lights barely squeezes. Oh my goodness.
Mark Whitley just
Mark
gets by
Whitley.
number 51. Larson, big contact.
Yeah, I think the worst part is probably Larson.
Yeah, and he was running so
Unfortunately.
good. Josh Larson was started fourth, was in that 5th grid. And I know that car probably has a lot of damage now. We don't see that a lot from Brandon Six. He can drive that car even with some loose tires and track condition. He's very consistent, but mistakes happen, and it happened right here. Too unfortunate for Brandon Six as we're on board. Let's see how it unplayed.
Yeah, it's just tagging the wall a little bit, and it pushes you out. And you try to make the correction, but it's hard to tell if maybe something broke in that process when he hit the wall.
I'd
How
like to
it
go
came
on.
back was more interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to go on board with Nick Lights just getting by, or Mark Whitley. Man, because Mark Whitley he has no room. He cannot be involved in this contact because that would ruin his day.
Oh, but he did hit the wall though. He scraped the
bit.
wall.
Little bit. That's good driving by Nick though. He stayed true, stayed up top. Here we're on board with Mark Whitley.
Oh, that was so fast.
Yeah,
Holy.
that's scary when you're in that when you're behind the wheel right there. Mark Whitley, everything on the line, just misses Brandon Six. Holy smokes! And now the caution's out, Brandon. Now they're all coming into pit. So again, strategy is out the window. We were talking about Frankie saving. Now what is he doing? He's right there. He comes to his pit stall, backs up. He misses it a little bit, Brandon.
Well,
Looks
They
like he's
can't
gonna
make it.
go 4.
I
gonna
think
go
if
4
you're smart,
tires?
I think if you're smart, everybody goes to 4. But again, I'm not driving. Everybody's gonna do whatever they want to do, right? Now, as far as strategy-wise, unfortunately, I think that puts everybody closer to the same strategy as far as when to pit. These guys can only go about 17 laps, and we're gonna have about 21 to go. So they're still gonna have to pit, but now it's gonna be a short fuel pit. So it'll be interesting when these guys actually pit. You might see some people come back down and top off, because if you can avoid pitting, then you're gonna make up a ton of time. So I don't know. These guys got a hard decision to make.
You know what I just did? You ever watch a race or watch anything and it starts getting interesting? You start moving at the end of your chair. You sit up a little bit. You focus a little bit more. That just
Yep.
happened to me. 23 to go here at Indianapolis, and it's been quite the race. Even
Yep.
with Brandon Six, he's getting in some big trouble there. I think he's basically locked in, so not going to be a big deal. But guys like Mark Whitley, Lights, Barroso, Wright, Smith. Look at 77, number 5, or in the 5th spot. He is all the way up there now. Matt Smith, Anthony Williams. Everything has changed.
Yeah, again, it's gonna be really, really interesting To man, to see. And I guess if we can, maybe we have to see if we can get an update on the points. With actually, I think we already had to see if we can go back and look at it. But with the way how it is now, actually, I thought they were gonna restart with 21. It does not look like it because caution lights are still on. So it looks like it's gonna be 20 to go.
20 to go. Real quick, Brandon. So Fleming, I don't know if we talked about this. Fleming and Larson, they are dead even.
Yep.
So whoever finishes in front of that other driver is going to move on. They've got to.
Yeah.
They've got to battle it out. Matt Fleming is now in 12th. I think it's going to be a little bit of shakeup. But you got Larson in that 51. He is now 7th. They are in a dead race for each other.
Yeah, and they're teammates. So, but unfortunately with Larson's damage, I don't know how bad the damage is. It looks like the right front of the fender is sticking up a little bit, so he probably doesn't have all the damage fixed. Unfortunately, he might not be that great of a contender anymore, but we'll have to see. His pace car is off.
Pace car is off. Nick Lights in that 4 is going to bring us away here on the green flag at Indianapolis. Mark Whitley in that 7 is going to follow right behind. Frankie in 3rd now with some fresh tires. I think he'll be holding anything back, and he's going to try his hardest to stay out front and get a win here. 0-4 of John Wright as well. He's now in 4th position. Single file, a little bit of side-by-side in the back. Lights pulling away. One car gets inside. Looks like he saves it.
Definitely some tight racing in the back of Matt Smith. The 5. Anthony Williams. Man, Anthony Williams looked like he got just really loose there. Just decided to let everybody go. Good call. Could have self-spun and took out a lot of cars there, but good call by him.
And this is what you call a shootout. But here's the interesting fact. I don't think they have enough fuel to make it the 20 laps. They're going to have to come back in and make a pit stop.
Yeah, yes. Unless you know how to save really, really well. You might be able to just save enough to make it if there's not a green flag, or not a green, I'm sorry, a green-white checker. So if you get, if the average is about 17 laps, they would have to save about 3 laps of fuel, which if you do it right, you might be able to do it.
Now, is that the gamble that you're willing to take? In my opinion, my racing head, I would try to be out front as much as I can. That's my driving style at this point in time of the race. But if you're saving, you could fall back to 8th, 9th and be out of it. I mean, just anything can happen.
If I'm in a must-win situation, I'm taking it. I'm not coming back down pit road unless there's a caution. It's too close to call. If I come down pit road and I make a mistake, or I speed on pit road, race is over. So I gotta be able to try and control what I can control, and that's staying out and trying to draft as many cars as possible. As you see a battle for the lead there with the 4 and the 7, and 4 is gonna hold them off. Now I'm gonna tell you 2 cars that are not saving fuel, and that's them 2 right there. They are full throttle.
Nick Lights and Mark Willey are definitely not saving as they're pulling away from the rest of the pack. 19 to go. Hopefully no cautions come out. They are going to have to pit to get some fresh fuel and get back out there. As now we got to pass on the inside. Is that Frankie in the 12th? Frankie in the 12th is dropped back a little bit, being conservative. Maybe he's playing the game that you're thinking.
Hey, well, he's locked in. He won last week, so he might be trying the long game. And like I said, it's what does he have to lose at this point? He's locked in. He's not really worried about points or anything like that. He's going to the next round. So, like I said, unless I was locked in, or unless I had unless I'm in a must-win situation, why not? I mean, if I can't catch them on speed, then I'm going to try anything and everything.
You're absolutely right. And 51 of Larson now is at 12, so that damage is a factor as now Matt Fleming in the 88 is in 8th. So if that stays true, Matt Fleming in the 88 will move on, and Larson will be eliminated. So that might have played a big factor in that last caution, had some big contact with the number 66, but man, it's too bad to see. Number 55 right there, Meeks, still on the track. He got in some trouble early on, but keeping it out there. Meeks is sitting, where's he looking at? Meeks is... He's 6th. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think that car had it in it, but he got it fixed and doing a great job.
Yeah, he's another one who has the possibility to maybe, you know, now, believe it or not, this is a simulator. So when you get damage, it's simulated along
Right.
with
Brandon, you take
You know,
it back. This is real. Just kidding.
yes, well, it depends on how you look at it, but
Exactly.
you know, with the way how the cars are simulated, if the car is damaged enough and you don't have the speed, then you're not burning as much fuel, which would allow you to use less fuel than the rest of the competition, which also is going to help you save a little bit of fuel as well. So I'm not going to count the 55 out to possibly stretching it all the way, because like I said, he's in a must-win situation. He has some damage, so why? And he's close to his teammate Frankie. If he gets close enough to him, maybe gets a little draft off of him. Maybe he's not, you know, he could just ride behind him and don't burn up his fuel even more than what he's already used. Hey, he could be in the catbird seat and we don't even know it.
Yeah, it's going to be very fun to watch how it unfolds. 15 laps to go in Indianapolis. Real quick to change it up. So we were talking about real life sim life. A lot of times I've had this on the big screen TV, and the wife doesn't know if it's real or not. It takes a minute. I've had friends ask me, like, "What race is this?" I'm like, "This is online. This is on YouTube." Like, oh man, it looks so real. That's what's cool. That's what's so much fun about doing this broadcast. It's so much fun for these drivers to be out here every week. This is why we do it, and obviously they're competitive. Man, it's just this whole season has been a lot of fun. As we're coming down to an end. I think we got 3 more races after this one. It's really been cool. AJ behind the scenes doing all the camera work and stuff. It all has to come together. Myself, Brandon, AJ, Steve, he's doing multiple tasks. That all has to happen to be a good broadcast. It's fun to be a part of, but I'll be done talking. We got 14 laps to go. This race is action packed. It's Nick Lights, Mark Whitley, Drew Drua. We got right up there Barossa, Frankie. He's in 5th. He's fallen back almost 6 seconds now.
Yeah, I really think he's in ultra saving mode. I really think he is. But again, you can't fall back too far. You got to keep in mind how long it takes for somebody to get down pit road, how long it takes for them to get fuel. You know, it's probably between 20 and 40 seconds that they're from entry to getting into the box to getting out of pit lane. It's probably about 30 to 40 seconds, maybe a little bit less, depends on where your pit box is. So that 30 to 40 seconds, you know, if Frankie is saving enough, again, he's another one that could be sitting in the catbird seat.
It's all a numbers game now.
Exactly, but his teammate Meeks behind him could also use him and even save even more fuel from drafting behind him. So it's man, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be interesting. I can't wait to see how this finishes out.
Yeah, Thomas Meeks, he started 16th and now looking 6th. Where did he come from? Almost pulled off of Frankie tonight, but he's doing great in that 55. I thought early on when he got some damage, got in that first caution, that his day might be done. But he's found a way to come back and doing great. He's only 7-8 seconds behind the leader, and he's looking at that 5th position right behind Frankie.
Yeah, and then if I'm him, I'm gonna let the 77 go. Let the 77 pass me. I'm gonna go ahead and get behind him and just save as much as I can to get myself an opportunity. As maybe he was listening to the broadcast. He just let the 77 go. But it's gonna be interesting. I think I just saw Millie pit. So that might be our first person to make an attempt at pitting so far.
Yeah, looks like Millie is 1 lap down, so he must have pitted at 39. Coming back out. Fresh tires, got all the fuel he needs, 12 to go. We're starting to see some more cars, I'm sure, going to the pits to make that stop unless they've saved. Frankie, one of those drivers in that 12 that may have saved, doesn't have to have the pit. Touching the wall there just a little bit. At number 4, Nick Lights out front. Mark Whitley right behind. Still battling out front. They're going to have to come in and get some fuel.
Yeah.
11 to go here at Indianapolis. Going to be 10 here. We're going to have a final shootout. We're going to call it the winner.
I'm actually surprised they have not pitted yet. I am very, very surprised. As soon as I got in my window, I would, and I caught it from Mark Whitley coming up pit road.
Mark Whitley did a great job pushing it till the very end and got into the pits. This is not an easy pit entry because the track is faster than you think, and that pit comes quick. So Mark Whitley now, that's 7, Harpoon Design themed car, is going to get fuel and get back out there. I think that's a good decision for him. But Frankie's out there as well. He's staying out.
Or does he take tires? Oh, we turned it off, so we don't know if he's going to get tires or not.
Not sure if he's taking tires. It will be a secret as of now, but when he gets back out there, we'll know exactly what he did. That 04, Nick Light's been strong in his final stage. He started 6th, is looking out front and never looked back.
Oh, no.
Drew in that 48 is now 2 seconds behind. Frankie's dropping back to 7 seconds behind. Still has not pitted.
Mark Whitley slid through his pit box and had to back up. That's about a good 2-3 seconds right there.
Yep, and we saw that with Frankie too. He dropped a ton of spots early on in this pit. Man, just going by a little bit, when you put it in reverse, it might only feel like a second, but I'll tell you what, when the numbers come down to play, that is a long time.
And this is why I said I would be doing anything and everything to try not to pit, because, you know, number one, we're going to have 10 laps to go. And Mark Whitley, as of right now, he is by himself. And I'm about to see how far back he is. He is 38 seconds behind the leader currently. He only took right side tires. So he's going to have a little bit of speed compared to others, but we'll have to see how it shakes out. As we say, Drew, Drew, I said that wrong. The 48 of Drew coming down pit road right now. We'll have to see what his plans are, whether he takes 2, 4, no tires. Let's see what he does. Did he slide through? Nope.
Good pit there. Good pit.
It coming down.
Brandon, I guarantee you we will see some drivers run out of fuel. I just have that feeling that they're going to try to conserve and save and save and save, and the calculations were off. And on that final last lap, maybe 1 to go, 2 to go, we're going to see some drivers run out of fuel. I just have that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely that possibility. It's just a quick update. Mark Whitley picked up about a second on the leader, Nick Lights. So, man, this is going to be interesting. I don't know who actually pulls this off and who saved enough fuel, but we're getting close to these guys have to pit. Like Nick Lights, we know for a fact that he didn't save any fuel, so he's going to probably try to go as far as he can and not to not pit, but we'll have to see how this shakes out.
As you say that, it looks like he was gonna make a move.
Is he out of fuel?
I'm not sure. I think he's just coasting. He is just saving a ton. He might be just turning the car off.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. He is really, really slow.
Does he think he doesn't have to pit? I don't know what his fuel's at, but that was a ton of saving. You're either going to go for it or not.
He
And I
he-
literally think Nick is turning the car off to save as much fuel as he can. Do you think he can make it at the end?
I think it's a little too late now. I think he should have been doing that from the beginning. But for example, his last lap was a 57.2 compared to Frankie at the 55.2. So 2 seconds. And then if we look at, where is he at? Mark Whitley, the last lap was a 53.2. So Mark Whitley is on rails right now, and he's gonna do whatever he can to try and make something happen. But Nick Light's going this slow. I don't think it's enough.
I don't think it's enough either. Nick Lights is before entry is off the gas for so long. He is coasting.
He's another second slower. Now down
He
to
is literally
58
coasting.
seconds. Yeah,
I'm not sure the strategy, Brandon. I'm not sure if you want to be out here doing this right now. 5 to go. You got Barroso with some fresh fuel right behind him. I mean, you could hear it. He's already off the throttle right now, coasting.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, Frankie's gonna catch him. Yeah, and we know Frankie's been doing it from the very beginning of the run, so we know that Frankie has a lot more fuel than Lights does. And yep, we're pretty much game over for him now.
Yeah.
He's going to.
He's already off the gas. Look at that. He's already off the gas.
Yeah, he unfortunately, like I said, he should have definitely been doing that. And even if he didn't have to max save like Frankie was, it could have been saving something. But we know him and Mark Whitley were just lights out and was just doing whatever they could to try and go for it. But right now, Frankie sits in the catbird seat. Could he could be our back-to-back winner.
I believe that may happen. 4 to go. Nobody's gonna catch Frankie right now. Lights is playing an interesting game. He's gonna run out of time. Frankie is out front, driving the car as hard as he can to try to get this win. Matt Fleming's 11 seconds out. Meeks is 12 to 13 seconds out. Smith in that 54. He's 20 seconds out. And now we only have 3 to go. Brandon, I think Frankie's going to go back to back.
Yeah, he just has to cross his fingers if there's no caution.
Man, what a great job by Frankie these last two races. He's so consistently just doing things right. I mean, last race he was conservative and was in the back of the pack, went to mid, and at the very end push it to get that win. And he's done the same here in this late stage. He dropped all the way back to almost 7th to 8th. Made all the right calls in the pits, and now he's out front, battling. Fleming and that 88 is kind of making some time here. Nick Lights is not that far behind though. He's in second, but he's not dropping a whole lot. 6 seconds is a lot though with only 2 to go.
Yeah, Nick Lights has to hope that he doesn't run out of fuel. If he runs out of fuel, he's gonna finish 12th or 13th, and he's gonna lose a boatload of points.
Yeah, he's not quite on the bubble. Is he on the bubble? He's already in, isn't he?
I don't think he is in. I don't think he's locked in. I know he has a couple of points.
Yeah, Nick Lights is good. He at this point, and if he completely runs out of field, I don't know what the number game looks like at the end. But man, we're on board here.
Man, these boys, we're coming to the 1 to go. This is very interesting.
Yeah, Frankie's got the white flag, and I don't think he's going to be looking back at all. Man, Frankie is going to run away with it here in Indianapolis.
as we see Frank Corvo, I mean, Corvo there, make a last-minute ditch to pit road. And I think if he didn't, he looked and probably said, "I'm not gonna make it. I've got to come down pit road." So, and we see Frankie going very, very slow, just coasting at this point. He has a 10-second lead over his teammate Matt Fleming. So, man, even if Matt Fleming, I don't think it's gonna catch him. Just to confirm, and no, he is not. Way back there. And Frankie Barroso is going to pull off two-time winner tonight from Watkins Glen last week to Indianapolis this week.
Back-to-back wins for Frankie Barroso. He did everything right in Indianapolis, gets the win. Fantastic for him. He's got a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence going into the next races to try to get this championship. He is one driver to look out for. Brandon Six late got in some trouble. He was the one that was out front. Was thinking he was going to get the win, but man, Frankie Barroso, Matt Fleming, Mark Whitley, Drew Drua, and Nick Light, top 5. They put on a show. Congratulations to Frankie Barroso in that 12 for his back-to-back wins late.
Yeah, what a crazy, a little bit of a crazy beginning, but man, after they kind of got themselves together, man, what a great and amazing race to watch these guys battle it out, trying to figure out different strategies and stuff like that, and to have Frankie run back, win back to back against the competition tonight, man, that says a lot about his talent going forward.
Yeah, exciting to see. Great win for him. This late of the race was fantastic. Indianapolis really provided. Congratulations to him. I couldn't tell you. I think he really thinks right now that he's going to win the whole thing, and he just might.
Yeah, definitely.
As we talk to Frankie, we're going to bring him in here in the booth. Frankie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Frankie, you went back to back, man. Win last week, a win here in Indianapolis. Congratulations. It almost felt like you were going to fall back again and do your thing, and which you did. Man, how did the car feel, and what are your thoughts going to next week? These back-to-back wins got to give you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, so the car did not really I should say the car did not drive very well, at least for me. I was way too tight, but I was able to make it work. As long as I just didn't overheat the rears, I was good. And I didn't really have the pace as Brandon Six, Mark, or Nick. Honestly, I really didn't. If anything, I was probably a 6th place car, to be honest. But I kind of knew as soon as that caution came out, saw it was about 20 laps to go, whatnot. So I was like, you know what? I think I can make it. I think I can make 21 if I start from the beginning, start super saving from the beginning, and then yeah, that's why we're in victory lane.
Yeah, congratulations. Good job, man. You're going to be the one to beat here in the next 3 races. Brandon, what do you got for Frankie?
Man, I didn't pick you. I should have picked you.
No, you shouldn't have.
AJ picked you, so maybe AJ is your good luck charm. But congratulations, man, back to back against the competition that we got going on, tonight and last week as well. Man, you're turning it on at the right time. Only got a handful more races left in the playoffs. As I'm kind of messed up again as I'm trying to see what the next race is. Our next race coming up is going to be Atlanta, which is unfortunately a super speedway. But I'm sorry. Actually, no, that's incorrect. We are actually going to run the throwback version of Atlanta, so it will not be the super speedway. So, have you ran that version before? And how do you feel about running there?
I personally am not with this car, but from past memory, I think it'll kind of be just as long as you save your right front, I think you'll be okay. I'm honestly not too sure. I know with the Gen 6, I was okay in Atlanta as long as I just stayed on the bottom. I was okay. So I don't know, but I'll tell you what. The big thing is starting in the playoffs. I didn't have a lot of playoff points,
Mhm.
and the 2 wins this week gets me 10 more points. So I'm really psyched about that because I'll have a bigger advantage than what I was gonna have. So I'll be, I think, 22 points to start the next round. So
Okay.
you know I'll that's always a plus. And that was kind of the main goal today, was to get a stage win or a win. Rack up the playoff points. But either way, it was a lot of fun out there tonight.
Right
Yeah.
on. Well,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say congratulations to him, and he did a great job. We were talking in the booth that it almost might be a situation where you already made your place. You don't really need to come out here and get that win, but you ended up doing it, and you did a great job. So
Yeah. So the reason why I actually did that was because in the mindset, I'm like, I already got to win. If I don't win, oh well, you know. And I wanted to try it. And before that last yellow came out, I was going to be in a really good spot. And at the end, the yellow was almost a blessing in disguise. I did not like it at first, but once I thought about it again, I was like, okay, we'll restart with 21 to go. you know, Maybe we'll see some. Fuel saving is very, very hard at this place, especially if you're trying to keep pace. It's kind of almost impossible. Like, you basically have to be uptight with someone, and you got to lift. You can't really shut the car off, and not kill the right front. So no, it was good that I ended up starting early, like definitely a lot earlier than others. And once kind of everyone realized that it was going to be a fuel saving race, and I was just in a better spot at the end there.
absolutely. Well, congratulations to you, and you got a lot of momentum for next week at Atlanta, and we'll see you there.
Thank you. See y'all at Atlanta.
All right, take care. AJ, I think we're going to bring in, or Brandon, I think we're going to bring in Matt Fleming. Does Matt Fleming have a copy here? Matt, you there?
Yeah, I got you.
Matt, you were my pick today, the fan favorite in that 88. You got there at second, didn't get that win over Frankie, but hey, heck of a drive today. You did a great job, and congratulations. How'd you feel about the car, and what were your thought process on fuel and tire strategy?
Uh, the car handled pretty good. I was pretty happy with it. Um, I know there at the end of stage one took 4 tires and a lot of guys didn't. Uh, you know, it didn't really hook up as well. I don't think I like that set of tires very well. 'Cause I had 4 tires and yet those guys that stayed out could definitely hold their own. But other than that, I mean, I think the car was fun to drive. Then the fuel, man, that was close. Holy cow! I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I was saving my butt off. But yeah, hey, it managed to work out. Got a P2, so hey, I couldn't be happier with it.
Can't be mad at that. We were kind of talking about that early on in the broadcast. It seemed like it took about 10 plus laps before that car felt good, even more than that, as guys with old tires were still driving strong. Real quick, Brandon, you got something for Matt?
Yeah, congratulations on the P2, sir. We got Atlanta, and that is the old version of Atlanta. How you feel about that, and how you think you're gonna do next week?
Actually, I feel pretty good about it. I like the old Atlanta. I always seem to have a decently good luck there. So I know there's a lot of other fast guys in here, so pretty sure it'll be a tough competition. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to that one. Going to finish there way better than Phoenix. Phoenix is not my strong suit, so I gotta make as much points as I can.
I hear you. I that can that's definitely not one of my strong suits either. But just quick, also to let you know you are locked in for the next round. So congratulations. That was going to be a battle between you and your teammate of Larson, which we had to get the final numbers, but unfortunately, I think he is out of it. But we got, like I said, we got Atlanta next week, so we will see you there, and we'll see how you do.
I'm rooting
Yes,
for you,
sir.
Matt.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. I want to shout out to Flem Dogs Auto Repair, MK2 Aerospace, Wheels America, Harpoon Design, with the awesome paint jobs we got, Rice Equipment, and Honeybee Acres. And you guys up there in the booth, I know you guys always do a great show. And thanks to Steve for putting this league on. And man, this is fun, guys.
Right on. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. That is Matt Fleming, Class Act in the 88. We are going to bring in now Mark Whitley. He's finished third in that 7 car. Mark, are you there?
I got you.
Mark, you finished third. Thought you were going to get that win. Late in the race, it got wild with tires and fuel and everything else. Green flag pit stops. Man, congratulations though on that third place finish. You are going to be on to the next race and in the championship. What are your thoughts? How you feel going into Atlanta next week?
Well, I feel a lot better because I figured we had to win the race tonight to have any kind of shot. But yeah, I was telling Frankie and Matthew, I'm like, I have no earthly idea how they saved 3 laps of gas at this track, being such a big track with such long straightaways. That's just impressive because I thought I literally told Brantley, there's no way in hell anybody's making it from this point. And we just went hard, and my strategy was to cut it in half and take 2. And I slid through my box and lost about 3 or 4 seconds, thankfully. And nobody else decided to take 2, and we just kind of ran down Drew. I was about the only person that was on the same kind of strategy as us. And then Nick tried to go long. I think he might have made it, but he was way off the pace at the end. And I really thought there was going to be no earthly way, unless you had some like major voodoo juju, like extra long fuel line like they had back in the day. Like I didn't even, it wasn't even a possibility in my head when we went green. So props to them for thinking of that strategy, making it work. Sucks on our end because I thought we had a win in the bag when we pitted, took 2, and I saw Nick staying out. But I guess the good news is we made it in the playoffs. I made it in the next round.
I think, Mark, I apologize. We have to go to the numbers. I think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
I knew it was going to be close. I know a couple of guys that were kind of close to the cut line had bad races. I'm not sure where they finished in the stage. We almost maximized what we could. We finished second in stage 1, won stage 2, finished third. So, I mean, that's second, first, third. So that's almost as good as you could do, only leaving a couple points out there. So, we wanted to win to lock ourselves in. So we'll see where we go, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's close, but I'm just gonna. You were my pick, so I'm gonna say that you made it, but I could be wrong. I'm hoping that I can pass some juju over your way, and hopefully it's a good luck juju to get you locked in for the next round.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what I needed was one of those extra long fuel tanks they had back in the day. It reminds me of a story of somebody, they took the fuel tank out the car and he drove it back down the road with no fuel tank in it. That's what it felt like. But I don't know. It was fun. A lot of guys took themselves out of it, hitting the wall. That wall would reach out there and jump you. I know Drew, he rebounded really good because he knocked the mess out of it in that first run, and I'm surprised he's able to come back as strong as he was. So, that was the name of the game. Really, was to stay off the wall and try to be fast.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like you said, Atlanta is next week. You talked a little bit about that. So, congratulations on your P3, sir. We will get the final numbers here shortly. Of course, that'll be up on the Discord to confirm whether you are or not. Like I said, I'm hoping that you are. I'm throwing some juju your way or whatever we can to kind of make that happen. Because I want to see the best of the best in the final 4. That's what I want to see. So, again, congratulations on the P3, sir. You had a good night. Just a little bit short, but we'll see what you can do next week at Atlanta.
All right, sounds good. Is it the new Atlanta or the old one? I forget.
The old Atlanta.
Okay, whew, thank God.
We'll see you then.
All right, man.
Later.
Yeah, Brandon, I'm not sure if he made it or if he needed to get that win tonight. We will do the numbers and get back to everyone at home and get back to Mark. I'd like to see him as well in the show. I'd like to see him next week at Atlanta, but man, we got to go back to the drawing board and see what that looks like. Man, congratulations to Frankie in that number 12. Got another win, went back to back. What were your thoughts on this race real quick, Brandon?
Lots of mistakes. Lots of mistakes from guys that like you said, you kind of don't expect mistakes from. 66 tagging a wall and wrecking there. The 34 wrecking as well. The 16 wrecking turn lap 1 turn 4. So and a couple other guys getting involved in wrecks as well. So a lot of moving pieces, a lot of surprises, but for the one person I'm not surprised that went out there and won was Frankie, unfortunately, because again, we saw it from the beginning. We kind of know his deal now. He does not push it at the beginning of the races, and he waits and has a strategy from the beginning of the race, and he sticks to it. And I think that is why he is coming on really, really strong, coming into these playoffs. I mean, he's got to battle some really, really fast guys: Mark Whitley, Nick Lights, Brandon Six, Drew Drua. These if that is if these guys are locked in for the next round, he's got to dig deep. He's got to find a way to continue to keep these guys down and try to take all the win from them. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. And for the rest of the guys, they got to step up. They can't just allow him just to keep on winning. If they want to try and lock themselves into the final 4, they got to do a little bit better.
Absolutely. Well, Frankie with the win on that 12, and Matt Fleming in the 88 got second. Mark Whitley third. Drew Drua, Lights in the 5th. Smith 6. Meeks, Wright, Lamphere, and Larson. That's your top 10. Big shout out to Frankie on his win, but man, a lot of action tonight. A lot of mixed up stuff for next week. The numbers are going to change quite a bit, and I'm excited to see Atlanta. I want to thank everyone that's here. Wheels America Racing Network, all you guys tuning in. Everyone that's involved here, myself, Jacob Emery, Brandon Bowie, behind the scenes, AJ, and also Steve Tucker. Big shout out to our sponsors, Units Moving Portable Storage, Wheels America, Admin Box, Flim Dogs, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, Harpoon Designs. We couldn't do it without you. And been a great time here at this race. We will see you next week at the Old Atlanta, where we continue this championship series. And from there, good night.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.